All right, so let's get comfy, however you want to be. However the body wants to sit or lie down, whatever. Let's just do a few minutes of sitting together, shall we? So we can just be getting really as comfortable as possible. As comfortable as we can possibly be. So whether we're sitting down or lying down, and whether our eyes are open or closed, and just check in, as it were. Imagine. Ah. Might take a few breaths. That's lovely. Yes, we can try out a mudra of different kinds. That's a gesture with, well, mudras aren't specific to the hands, although they often are hand gestures. I mean, technically, asanas are mudras because they're shaping the body in a certain way, but mudras are nice when the hands want to play in different positions. And we might just find that the body is checking in with itself, however that looks like or feels like. We might find ourselves taking some nice soothing breaths in and out. And there's just this really delicious quality of not needing to go anywhere. That's the suggestion. That there's just this bathing in whatever appears to be happening. It has no need. No next. No obstacle in the way of this. All thoughts, sensations, and emotions. All just floating around in the spaceless ether. Naturally what it is, without need for next. And those breaths might seem to soothe and open that up energetically. However the body is situated, the spine might be long and lengthened. Whether we're kneeling or cross-legged or lying down, however it is, open and easy. And whether the body wants to move around or be still is absolutely fine either way. So if you're enjoying sitting here or lying down here, then you can just feel into that. And if you want, you could just wave a little bit side to side, like a palm tree in the wind. The hands can rest wherever they want to be. They can rest on the floor, rest on the knees or the lap. I've got my hands resting on my soles of the feet for some reason. This feels quite nice, but that's in a kneeling position. So this breath and little swaying motion is lovely. The movement and the breath go so nicely together. Easy going. Left to right, right to left, if we wish. And that could be very, very small, or it could start to grow. It could develop in its movement. You might find a nice little stretch along both sides of the neck. If we want to, lean one ear to the shoulder and then wave to the other side. That's quite nice. We might find ourselves yawning or sighing or humming. Hmm. And maybe, if we wish, we could start to turn that into a circular motion. Where we once were side to side, maybe it can develop into circulation through the spine. Oh, and if you want, you can flex and extend through the spine, forwards and backwards, as we circulate like this. And again, the hands might want to move position. If you're kneeling or cross-legged, you might want to change if that gets to be uncomfortable at any point. Yeah. I like to call this one stirring the pot. Like getting energy around the torso, just moving around. Then you can kind of lean forwards as much as you like, lean back as much as you like, or keep it small and slow. It's up to you. Sometimes it's nice to move a bit faster if you want to wake the energy up. Just being really gentle wherever we are, however we want to be. Oh, imagine you could breathe into the shoulder blades and the whole shoulder girdle, back of the body. If you're on the floor, you might place your hands on the knees still, or you can place them on the floor. I'm kind of alternating from one to the other, just making it up. Notice what the sacrum is doing when you do this. What's going on with the lower back? And if you want to, you can switch direction if you haven't already. Aye, aye, aye. Nice. Mm. Okay. All right, I feel inclined to invite us to do a forward fold if we want to. So whatever that looks like for you. You can do a cross-legged forward fold if you're still sitting with the legs crossed. You can do a kneeling forward fold, which would be like into a child's pose. You could bring the knees up to the chest and hug the body in, or you could have the legs out long. I feel like doing child's pose myself. Always a nice option. So wherever we are, just enjoying a nice open situation in the back of the body, perhaps. Have I ever told you that child's pose is my favorite yoga position of all? There's many, many benefits to this posture. Nice for the hips, nice for the lower back, nice for the whole back, actually. But it's like a fetal position. It tells the body it's safe because it's protecting the vulnerable front side of the body. So we receive all this information of a sense of safety and comfort and belonging in this fetal-like position. And when you rest the forehead on the ground, that is if you're in this position, of course, you're gently relaxing the prefrontal cortex. And it's just really, really soothing. And there's so many different options as well. You can have your arms in front or behind. You can have them on the back. You can go into shark's fin with the hands touching above the head, elbows flexed. And if you are in child's pose, you can also massage the back of the neck gently or firmly with the hands. Okay. If we're up for it, we can roll out of that forward fold position vertebrae by vertebrae. That is to say, rolling up from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. And we can play with the wave. Waving forwards and backwards, if we like. This is so nice. Waving vertebrae by vertebrae up and down. Really easygoing flexions and extensions through every single disc. Nice stimulation of the internal organs. Nice gentle stimulation of all of the muscles on the back and the front of the torso. Playful as well. However the body wants to play, can go slow or fast, big or small. And whatever other movements you might like to try. Playfully. Open. Oh yeah. And then maybe that wave just slowly makes its way back to some kind of stillness. Eyes open or closed again. If we're in a kneeling position right now, we can just feel the sit bones resting on the heels. all the sit bones resting on the floor. And maybe we can come into a tabletop and we're going to do cat and cow if we like, if we wish. So we can come onto our hands and knees. Just notice if the body wants a break at any point as well. Although these postures are quite easygoing compared to traditional Ashtanga or something else, there can be a little bit more need for rest and digest still. So if it feels alright, then come onto hands and knees. Wrists directly underneath the shoulders and the knees directly underneath the hips. I want that spine to be nice and long, ideally. I'm just going to feel into the pressure, the grounding from the palms of the hands and the knees, and we might want to sway side to side or move around in different ways. I must admit, I'm not really keen on tabletop in a stationary sense. It's nice to get a bit of fluidity into the spine when we stay here. So we can try playing with tilting the pelvis forwards and back, or wagging the tail side to side. We can even bend the elbows slightly and feel into the shoulders, shoulder blades. And if you want to, you can go into the more traditional cat and cow poses. So cow pose, if you don't know, is when obviously we drop the belly down, the tailbone sticks up, and we look up. And we usually breathe in when we do that because the chest is more open. And then when we exhale, the chest closes on the front side, and then we open the back of the body. So that's when we round through the spine. We arch it, and the chin comes to the chest, and the tailbone rolls under, pelvis tilts back. So if we're liking that one, that's an inhale for cow and exhale for cat. So inhale, drop the belly, exhale, round. Then you might find other things going on, other movements. All right, nice. Just wherever you are, keep enjoying that nice, gentle flow. Notice if there's any tension in the neck here. Maybe that can relax as well. Okay, and then maybe we want to do a threading of the needle. This is good for our arms and shoulders, so we can do it as gently as we want to. I think my favorite version is to alternate from one side to the other. And what this involves is being in a tabletop, and we're going to take one hand off the ground, we're going to stretch it up to the ceiling, and maybe we even look up to that hand that's extending to the sky. Inhale as we open that up, and then we exhale. The hand comes between the wrist and the knee. Thread the needle, so it's going to come through here And we're going to bring that shoulder all the way to the earth. Very gentle. We can bend this elbow as much as we need to. And we're going to work towards making the ear touch the ground. But again, we'll find whatever variation is needed for you. And you can just stay down for several breaths on one side, or you can alternate a bit more fluidly. So it's an inhale as we extend one arm up, and then it's an exhale as it slides through between the right wrist and right knee, or left wrist and left knee. Just finding whatever works for you, enjoying that flow, however it goes. Mm. Really relaxing that shoulder that's pressing gently on the ground. Yeah. Okay. All right. At any point you want to find a different posture, play with something else, you're most welcome. I think I'm going to introduce Cobra pose or Sphinx pose. So if you want to, if you're comfortable, you can lie on the belly, lie facing down, and you can come onto our forearms. Or do something different. So just feel where we are if we're enjoying resting on the belly. And if you want to, you can just go ahead and lie all the way down. You can lie the face down, the forehead resting on the mat. You can come into Sphinx where the arms are parallel and the palms are facing down, fingers spread wide, looking forwards. If you want something a little bit more challenging, gently challenging, you can come up onto the palms and into the full cobra pose. Get a nice stimulation in the lower back. Rolling the shoulders back, open the chest. And then we can breathe gently wherever we are and just relax it back down. So you can play with different postures here. It's all open, it's all free. However it wants to be. Easy. Wherever we are, we're invited to let the shoulders really relax. I'm going to keep my head facing down for a few moments. And it's nice just to face the ground and just enjoy the shape of the body as it breathes and the belly and the chest expands and relaxes whilst pressing gently into the ground. If you are facing down, you can have the arms in front or behind. So I'm going to invite us to do a spinal twist of our choosing. You can start to think about rolling over to your back if you wish. If you want to lie on your back, you can, but if you prefer to sit up, that's fine too. I'm going to invite us to do a spinal twist of our choosing. So if we're lying on our back, we can do windshield wipers, or we can bring the knees up towards the chest and then drop them down to one side and then the other. You can keep the knees down on one side for several breaths, or we can just alternate them. If you want to do a seated version instead, that's fine. You can cross the legs or kneel them, rest one hand on the opposite knee, and look over the shoulder. So, whatever feels best right now. And again, if you're doing it seated, we can alternate from one side to the other, or just leave it for several breaths. You're just finding whatever that wants to be. Of course, there is the slightly more intense version of this, of the lying down twist, where one leg extends out long and the other knee crosses over. And that'll just sort of gently bring that stretch more into the glutes and all of those muscles around the spine. It's quite nice. And we can, if we're lying down, then it can be arms out to the sides, or on the belly, or down, however it likes to be. And a breath or two, or even three, might explode out of you. And again, this isn't just for the spine, it's for the shoulders as well, and the neck, which is part of the spine. The shoulders and the neck, it's all connected. So we're getting different relaxing effects on different muscles and tissues and bones, joints, etc. Ah, wherever we want to be, however it wants to be, however it is. Mm. Enjoying. Yeah. So I'm going to invite you to do any final postures that you might want to do in this time together. Whether if you're lying down, you might like to, yes, just hug the knees in. You might like to do happy baby. You might like bridge pose. You could do shoulder stand or something else, whatever you like. And then after that, I am going to introduce us to do, or invite us to do a little bit of massage as well. And then after that, I'll be a nice relaxation. Enjoying this way of moving and being and breathing. So effortless. whatever postures the body likes to do to get itself into, to play. 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 Playful. Yeah, they can rock forwards and back, side to side. Can bring one knee into the chest and extend the other out, and vice versa. And you might notice that when the body is just invited to do what it wants to do, and there's a voice that incidentally appears to be happening on a screen, this is just open. There's a nice quality about this openness, this open quality of how it is and how it wants to be. There's no agenda there, there's nothing that's being worked through, it's just really spacious. And whenever the body feels ready for it, and there's no rush, but it might like to extend out into some kind of supine posture, some kind of lying down situation. You might like to have the feet planted on the floor still, and that's cool. And there's just a gentle opportunity to do some massage for oneself, so you might squeeze or brush. And if there are any places in which you feel tense, any stress lingering, then this is the time in which we can explore that together. So you might like to do brush strokes on the face or the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the legs or the feet, or elsewhere. Mm. And just enjoying that touch again, that tactile realm where the body just enjoys connecting with itself. So if there's anything going on for the shoulders, you can brush down the shoulders and the arms. And it can be nice to squeeze quite deeply, but sometimes we just really want that really extremely soft, delicate, almost feather-like touch. Nice to have this open space where the body's just allowed to really tend to itself, nurture and nourish itself with massage or brush strokes, squeezing. You could even just place the hands on one part of the body and just feel into that. There could be such enjoyment in touching the skin as well as the garments of clothing. And you might notice how when the hands rest on one place of the body and the breath happens, you can palpably feel the way the body and its tissues are pulsating with the breath. A palpable quality of inhale and exhale within the whole body. And this is when we might find ourselves lying down completely into Shavasana. But if you want to continue massage or any movements, this is fine. However the body wants to be comfortable. However it feels like it could be comfortably still, feeling safe, feeling nurtured, feeling held. So if it's available, the arms can rest by the sides of the body and the palms can face up. Alternatively, they can face down, or they can place on the belly and the chest. But you might even find a different posture works. Sometimes it wants to be a different way, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everything is just openly allowed to express itself the way it wants to be. The body is openly available to itself in every single moment. It can breathe and relax, rest and digest, restore and replenish, and enjoy the ebbing and flowing of the breath, the sensations in the whole body, open wide. And it seems like in these moments, it's just so easy for the body to just be. Even if there's pain or discomfort, it's just so openly, unjudgmentally allowed. And all of those muscles around the face can soften. And all of the muscles around the neck and the shoulders the arms and the hands, chest and belly, Whole back of the body too. Pelvis and hips. Legs and feet. Whole body. Whole body. Really effortlessly relaxed. And it might find itself just slowly, slowly waking itself back up again. Really slowly. Enjoying the pace of breath and movement. Beginning to re-emerge and resurface. Finding its way back to activity. Which might look like a yawn or full body stretch. Curling up into a ball or rolling over to one side. Finding our way. So, hope you all enjoyed the YoQini session today. Mindful movement, touch, and stillness. Do feel free to share with your friends. Let people know. Bring more people. And there's more YoQinis happening this weekend on the Zoom intensive. So do come along if you like. Thanks all. Much love.